It has certainly been a very interesting 24 hours with reactions to the GTA 6 delay to May 26, 2026, ranging from, yeah, this is good, you know, they're daring to delay the game, they don't want to release anything buggy, a delayed game is always healthy, all the way ranging to they had 13 years to do this game, why is it taking still another additional year? Which I'd like to tell those people, Red Dead Redemption 2 exists. Go play it. It's really good. The realistic and real reason why the game has been delayed is a very simple one. Crunch, better known as working your employees to death, is no longer a thing. If this was still around the time that Red Dead Redemption 2 was coming out and Rockstar was still just basically working their employees to death and making them burned out and leave the industry forever, then yeah, maybe they would have made the release date. But the fact of the matter is that crunch in general is something that's frowned upon within the gaming community and has been something that the industry has been working on to reducing over the past couple of years. And honestly, that's a good thing, because burned out creative people are not really going to create great games. And I think it is going to show whenever GTA 6 comes out that this delay is going to be a good one. Also, as most of you might remember, I don't remember any Rockstar game ever coming out on the date of release. It is always getting delayed. So when we saw the 2025 release date, we all kind of were anticipating that at some point it might slip into 2026. Oh, another 1.5 year GTA Online! No! This became more and more apparent when it was early 2025 when it was originally scheduled. Then internally it got delayed until fall 2025 that we found out through the Take-Two investors calls, and now the band-aid is ripped off for a, I guess, second delay to May 26, 2026. There's a lot of people like that are going around like, I told you so, I told you so. I've always been on the side of the fence of like, if Rockstar doesn't announce a delay, and with the fact that the crunch is no longer a thing, you would assume and hope that they have been planning better, and thus they're able to better pinpoint when exactly the game is coming out. Unfortunately, that does not seem to be the case. I have very much been on the hopeful side that it was still going to come out in fall, just like literally the entire industry, who is probably going to spend the next week or so just going like bam, 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 bam. But at the end of the day, a delayed Rockstar game has never been a bad thing. If you look back at their history of games, every single one of them released in a polished state, and we were going to be able to play and enjoy the game from start to finish with relatively no issues. Obviously, there's always going to be the odd bug here and there, and the game is not going to be releasing bug-free because, like with anything, that is just simply impossible. There's also a few other voices from the industry itself, such for example Strauss Zelnick, who said the following: "We fully support Rockstar Games taking additional time to realize their creative vision for Grand Theft Auto 6, which promises to be a groundbreaking blockbuster entertainment experience that exceeds audience expectations. While we take the movement of our title seriously and we appreciate the vast and deep global anticipation for Grand Theft Auto 6, we remain steadfast in our commitment to excellence. As we continue to release our phenomenal pipeline, we expect to deliver a multi-year period growth in our business and Anyways, with that out of the way, we can move on to people that actually have something interesting to say, such as Jason Schreier, who is replying to someone saying that they did not buy for a second that Rockstar was trying to avoid crunch, which he replies to saying, "The skepticism is always healthy, but I've been keeping tabs on this for years, since my big 2018 story about Red Dead 2's crunch. They certainly haven't eliminated all overtime, but everyone I've talked to Rockstar says it's night and day from previous project. If this changes, I'll report on it." Which obviously means that if you're not having constant crunch and you're working your employees to death, you're obviously going to need more time to create a game, because, you know, 16-hour workdays are severely more efficient in terms of getting a game done than just having a 9 to 5. I'm obviously not saying that it happens, but you get what I'm trying to say. He also mentions the fact that apparently for the people that he's talked to at Rockstar, they never really believed that the fall 2025 release that was going to happen, as there was too much work and not enough time, and what appears to be a real desire from the management to avoid brutal crunch. GTA 6 to begin 2026 has seemed inevitable for months, if not longer. With also Albert Vermeij, the former technical director at Rockstar Games leading up to GTA 4, who said, "Bummer, the good news is that they were certainly confident they're going to make May, otherwise they wouldn't have given a date." Which is true. If you look back at the previous history of Rockstar and their announcements, generally speaking, they announce a date with like the first trailer or the announcement, and then they give a second date, which is sometimes, most of the time, a delay, which is still vague. If you look at the most recent history with Red Dead Redemption 2, it went from like a fall 2017 to a spring 2018, which then at that point became October 26th, 2018, which means that they constantly are narrowing it down, and now actually having a specific date will most likely mean that there is not going to be delay. If there is one, it's going to be a much smaller one, like for example with Max Payne 3. Which transitions me to another former Rockstar employee, which is Mike York, who is a former animator for GTA 5 and also RDR2, which kind of gives some good insight that it could also have possibly been something that is a new game feature that they recently added to the game that is like proven to be a lot more work than they anticipated, or whatever the case may be. The main point basically being through all of this stuff is that the delay is just simply going to give us a better game. And from a personal perspective, I don't mind the fact that we are getting a delay. I know from history that when you put in that Rockstar disc into your console, you're going to get a certain experience. And every single person that is anticipating this game has exceedingly high expectations, and Rockstar has to do their utmost best to meet those expectations. We've been waiting for this game for such a long time. If you want to just start a GTA 5, then sure, it's been 11 years by the time the game has been released. If you just want to not forget about RDR2 because put some respect on that game, then it's been since 2018, which is nearing up on 7 years, which is probably whereabouts how long the game has been in development, probably closer to 5. We simply don't know. As a creator, yeah, that story is a little different. The daunting task of having to come up with another year of GTA Online content is one that I'm not exactly looking forward to. GTA Online players, if that's the only thing that you're playing, and you having to go from like 6 months to now an entire year of having to figure out what to do in that game, good luck. Because I'm right there with you. Everything in that game has been done, covered, and yeah, frankly, I really wonder what they'll do with future DLCs, especially considering the fact that most, if not all of them at this point, are becoming increasingly like smaller in size. And I'm just hoping that with the coming year they'll release plenty of stuff that we can just kind of like dig through and have a little look into and actually get to see more about the game. And it also kind of brings me to a point that a lot of people have been raising as well, which is of course the fact that they just simply dumped this bombshell on us and then just went, lovely, it's time for lunch, I will see you around. James, what are we having for lunch? Yes indeed, Tales of the GTA fans. Oh, just beautiful. But I think the actual real reason why they didn't is a little known game called Mafia: The Old Country, which is set to have its gameplay reveal next week. For those who are unaware, Take-Two owns Rockstar, who also owns the 2K franchises, which is also Mafia, which means that if Rockstar were to have gone and said, here's trailer 2, here's a screenshot, then everyone would have been just simply focused on that for the next week or 5, and yeah, that's kind of like stealing away the thunder from Mafia, who, by the looks of things, is also shaping up to be an amazing game. For those folks out there who like to play other things than GTA Online, as you should. Luckily though, this year there is Mind's Eye, which is looking to be pretty interesting, which for those unaware is made by the studio founded by Leslie Benzies, who is the former producer and or studio head of Rockstar North, and also Mafia the Old Country, of course, which is 2 open world games that you can sink your teeth into before the release of GTA 6. And obviously there's plenty of other games too, like Red Dead Redemption 2 if you never played that. It's pretty darn good. We are of course fortunate enough that 2025 is seemingly stacked with a bunch of really cool games that are all seemingly worth checking out. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has been great, the latest example being Expedition 33, and this seemingly is going on for quite some time. So yeah, in terms of video games to play and waiting for the game, then I'm sure it won't be too bad. At the end of the day, I think the main message behind this whole video is a delay is never going to be a bad thing for any video game. And most of the time it is worth the wait. And I'm sure, based on Rockstar's track record, GTA 6 is going to be more than worth the wait. And when we can finally put our hands on it and sink our teeth into it, we'll be forgetting about all the 13 years we waited for it. Or not. I guess we'll find out. Regardless, those are some of my thoughts about the delay and the whole situation. Thank you everyone for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And I'll see you all later.